Yeah? She's not using her oxygen no more?
Not really.
That's amazing.
No. It is. Michelle's power okay after y'all go back home?
We had like half power. It was weird.
Half?
Yeah. I thought it was like the power was on because the air conditioner was on and the fridge was on, but then 50 amp which is what we use, has two different hot sides, and only one of the hot sides works. Like our outlets didn't work, and our battery didn't charge, which charges like some other stuff. Basically, the generator.
Oh.
It was fine. Yeah, we didn't know our air conditioner was gonna, because our air conditioner quit working because the battery was dead. So we had to go get it charged. And I was like, we're definitely gonna call him late at night. If the commissioner's still not working, we're gonna spend the night there again. That'd be just
Yeah. And then she'll, oh.
whiny and I know.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine like being an argument.
I don't like that.
I put your picture away. Neon moon. Number one country wedding song. The reception.
I don't even know it.
Yeah. It's too country.
They didn't play that at you.
No.
It's not a wedding song.
And it's a reception. Every country reception had a neon moon song.
Oh, Neon Moon.
Neon moon.
It's a drinking song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard it, I don't think.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, you have. It's just more like welcome to Suleiman.
Yes, you have heard that song you haven't heard.
From the Neon Moon. No?
Literally, I have no idea.
Like Garth Brooks.
Every like if you know you're going to a country wedding and they went to A&M, you're gonna have the A&M fight song. Dun, 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 dun,
At a
dun,
wedding?
dun.
I guess you're speaking from your wedding photographer days.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never
Every-
been to a reception that had a college
Neither have I.
song.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
one
that
would go to
sounds
UT fight song and then the A&M fight song. They would both do like that's part of the culture.
Yeah, for sure.
So a shout out to the culture. What do you call it? The
Aggies?
what do you call it?
Gigum?
The agriculture gang, you know.
Oh,
the
4-H club.
That is what they're called. Yeah.
4-H.
Yeah, the people outside the major city.
The farmers?
Rural.
Yeah, rural
Folk.
rural versus the inner city.
Cowboys?
Welcoming Iraq. We are one family, one love. Get rid of the distractions we can hear from your drugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not stay away, like around here is fine.
Is it me?
I don't think Charles can see it. Can you even see the levels?
No.
No?
Do I need
There.
to see them?
Yeah. To monitor the sound.
Yeah, still in the bass that spikes it.
So
I can lower the bass.
Yeah. Or just turn that mic maybe. I don't know.
you can turn the mic up.
Oh, this is the one. Bass.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it still picks it up pretty good.
Yeah, and they were saying it was okay. Mine's pretty loud too, apparently. Check. No, it's not bad.
Yeah, I didn't monitor it.
They were saying it was fine last time, and it was still spiking.
Yeah. Spiking a little bit is fine.
Yeah.
But the thing is, some people have like crazy headphones.
Okay.
Like ours, hear everything. Yeah. Okay, let's just flow. Try the chimes.
Louder?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Find an instrument. Aw,
Put it over here.
you're so delicate.
Didn't want to give him that yet because it's feminine. He's gonna. They wanna. Who knows? You might get a harp after. Yeah.
I don't know.
What's? Welcome everybody to the Mystic Villagers sound healing journey at the King and Queen Ashram. We got welcoming 10. Thank you for getting your headphones. Who's that? Snowman? Snowman is here. Brother Sean, the famous father. We got Sister Emily here. Brother Charles on the drums, and of course Brother Tanet. Chavez is here. I've never been more giddy in my life till now. Yeah, a sound healing group is beautiful. I mean, you don't see that often. It's usually two people with crystal bowls. But when you know, it's beautiful what we got going on. And of course, every Sunday, we've been holding it down. So grateful for the beautiful work. Yeah, Claire Morris and maybe we can do a little talking before we start. Like, what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy about your craft, Brother Sean? Handpan vibes.
I enjoy the flow of it. I'm a very flowy person. I've loved music my entire life. I was raised on it. Basically, my dad was into Bob Marley, just all sorts of different genres.
Yeah.
But
Bob Marley.
good music, that had a lot of soul to it, I guess you could say, in terms of just like it being authentic.
Yeah.
And the artists themselves were very impactful on my life, and that made me fall in love with music. And I've always been one who remembers lyrics very easily and sings them aloud to myself, or when I used to work at the restaurant, I would just sing constantly when I was cooking. It was my thing that I would do, and the thing that I was kind of known for. But I've never really played an instrument per se that had to I've played these for 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't really call them instruments, as in they don't need to follow a certain pattern like you do with a song.
Yeah.
For it to sound aesthetically pleasing to the human ear. But the handpan is something that is like that, and that's why I like it a lot, is because I am forced to now learn an instrument, which I've always wanted to know how to do. I've just never pushed myself to do that, other than just sing along to music that I know. So that's what I really enjoy about it, is that it's challenging, and it's forcing me to do something musically, which I've always wanted to do.
How about Sister Emily? What do you enjoy about the crystal bowls, or like what inspire you? Like, what do you like about it? And because many people, that's one of the most popular sound healing instruments currently. So what?
So hot right now.
Yeah, it's the hottest thing in the market. Can you share your inspiration? What do you enjoy about it? The sacred tools.
I enjoy the crystal bowls because I can just get lost in it. Like, it doesn't require a lot of thought. It doesn't require me having to think of different patterns, because I'm thinking all day. I'm like constantly using my brain. So for me, it's just really nice to play with the different sounds, to be softer, more gentle, sometimes a little bit more fiery. Mm-hmm. But it allows my mind to just go away. And it helps me a lot with my meditation. I would watch a lot of YouTube in my beginning meditation journey. And it's something that just assisted with completely being able to turn off my brain and being able to play them and offer that to others in order to meditate while I'm meditating myself. It just allows me to also express myself. It's a very emotional. It allows me to get connected to my emotions in my heart, I think. And it just...
What's the most challenging thing about operating or practicing crystal singing bowls for you?
The most challenging, I think, has been to have more control over it, to have control over how loud they can get or how soft they can get, and knowing what volume to play at, and if I need to play softer or maybe a little bit more faster. More so just reading the energy to where I can have control over it, to where I can let my mind go. Because in the beginning I did use my mind a lot to have control over the pitch and the sound. So now I feel like I can just stop thinking mostly and just get lost in it.
And they do take a while to set up to, putting them up and on, and which requires a lot of patience because they're glass. How about Brother Charles?
Hi.
You play the drum. I mean, we're not having a drum circle. What's the difference between, what do you enjoy about drumming, and what's the different meditative drumming and drum circles different?
I enjoy, I guess, like offering for y'all in something that inspires y'all, or like that grooves, that y'all feel grooves, because like
You're like the bass line. You're the bass line.
I'll be doing something, and then I can see you guys like sort of get into it, and so I enjoy allowing you guys to sort of
explore.
Yeah, flourish in a way. What's hard about this type of drumming is, I mean, for sure, sometimes your mind, or my mind, can get bored, but I have to let go of that, and just because I think a lot of, and also in drum circles, I think people get bored because they want to show off or something.
Yeah.
So like this types of drumming is less is more. That's sort of my philosophy with it. It's more about what I don't play than what I do play, just because there's so much melody, there's so much
you can easily
going
still
on.
like take over, dominate.
Yeah, it really the bass and the shaker too, it can completely change and shift. So I try to, I'm still exploring how to be a more grounded beat, but still like sometimes a little bit of
sass, add
just a
some,
little bit of spice too.
Yeah.
So
because we're not playing the spiciest set, there's no, not yet, Awesome. And of course I play the flutes, very melodic, very it's like very meditative airflow. Of course, it also can be very piercing, high-pitched flutes can be very loud, and so I'm always looking at making sure that what comes out is adding and not like taking away. So the whole thing about what we're doing is how can we harmonize the flute and the drum for people meditating on sound together. So there's a lot of focusing going on, and there's a lot of deep listening. There's a lot of humbling. You have to be humble enough to check your volume. You have to be humble enough to also get loud sometimes, because sometimes we do add some fire, and if we're adding fire and you ain't like adding fire, we're kind of like slowly getting stuck on a certain, but even that getting stuck is part of the journey, so we're going on a sound journey together with the intention of enjoying, connecting, and knowing that there is an audience too. But of course, we have to make sure we're good first. The audience, basically, it's third. It's God first, community, family, which is this group, and community. And so thank you so much for being here. Era Eyes. Using healing instruments require accepting the process of healing. Exactly. And of course, paying attention to the volume, the mic setup, all these little details that make it like how can we improve. And when we do a good job, we are freaking so floating that you can feel light, very light. Sometimes we can feel so light that we're very high, so we have to make sure we don't be too high so that we can stay grounded. And of course, when we do a good job, the chat box and the community is more quiet, our mind's quiet, and let's begin the journey. Yeah.
This is Teddy and that is Kibby.
Yeah, this is Teddy, Kibby, and then Jax may make an appearance soon.
You done? Lay down. I'm gonna go get some more water.
Okay.
But you watch this.
We do have a new instrument bringing out the fairy chimes. Brother Charles will be taking over that one.
the drug. Brothers and sisters in love, let's use the internet, not let the system use us. One love, one light, one design, unite humanity and inspire mankind. Awaken the light of the hive, source energy activating inside. One love, one light, one design, unite humanity and inspire mankind. Om Mani Padme, 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 We are the guardians of planet Earth, protectors of the waterland and above. We are the angels of planet Earth. Be the change, meditate, spreading love. This is the kingdom of planet Earth. This is our kingdom of Mother Earth. Na 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 na. We are one family, one love. Get rid of all distraction and we heal from the drugs. Brothers and sisters in love, let's use the internet, not let the system use us. One love, one light, one design, unite humanity and inspire mankind. Awaken the light of the hive, source energy activating inside. One love, one light, one design, unite humanity and inspire mankind. Awaken the light of the hive, source energy activating inside, and we say Om Mani Padme, 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 We are one family, one love. Get rid of the distractions, we can heal from the drugs. Brothers and sisters in love, let's use the internet, not let the system use us. One love, one light, one design, unite humanity and inspire mankind. Awaken the light of the high source energy activating inside. One love, one light, one design, unite humanity and inspire mankind. Awaken the light of the high source energy activating inside. Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme. body with me, body with me, body with me, body with me.
face your fears, heal your tears, be the light, be the light. Ooh. Meditating storms of the mind, mandalas of the heart opening from inside. Practices of mystics in the village awaken the light in my sky as the water flows and the wind blows. Mantras of the Buddhas emerge as the yin and the yang, energy unknown, enlightenment cannot be found. It's cool to talk about chakras, but hard to forgive ignorance and trauma. It's cool to buy more crystals, but hard to let the good sit in the seat of your soul. It's cool to buy more crystals, but hard to let God sit in the seat of your soul. It's cool to talk about chakras, but hard to forgive ignorance and trauma. It's cool to talk about chakras, but hard to forgive ignorance, trauma. It's cool to buy more crystals, but hard to let God sit in the seat of your soul. It's cool to buy more crystals, but hard to let God sit in the seat of your soul. As the water flows and the wind blows, mantras of the Buddhas emerge. Tare du tare duri soha, dare dare duriso dare dare duriso dare dare.
Da Diyada Bigandi Bigandi Ma Bigandi Raja Zamugade Zuha 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 Diyada Bigandi Bigandi Ma Bigandi Raja Zamugade Zuha.
We are the guardians of planet Earth, protectors of the waterland and above. We are the angels of planet Earth. Be the change, meditate, spreading love. This is the kingdom of planet Earth. This is our kingdom of
Breathing in, be aware that you're breathing in, everybody. Breathing out, slowly breathing out, relax your body. Interesting year here in Houston. Some people know electricity. Some people have electricity. Didn't know you can just have half. And some people, sad too. But we're still here. Let's see, what did you feel today, brothers and sisters? We got Evie. LV, excuse me. LV, not Evie. Maybe we got Evie, yeah. Morgan, Kimberly here. We got Foolish, Searing Rain. Again with no power in Texas, yeah. Some people haven't had power since Monday. Hurricane. Today there was also a strong rain and strong wind. As you heard on stream, it was thunder clapping in the background. Oh, Evie's here too. Hey, shout out to the future Mystic Village leader, young Mystic Evie, practicing her drum, flute, and every instrument possible. Stephanie said mine came on yesterday. Good news, good news. Some have never had power yet have inner joy. Yeah, shout out to those people. You know what I'm saying? See here. We got feeling euphoric. What do we feel today, brothers and sisters? Joy says beautiful guys. Smoker Club is here. Represent the Smoke Club. Hitting lap. Arrow Eyes, another sound healing practitioner up in here. Many sound healing practitioner come by. Use candles, y'all, no big deal. Some people aren't prepared with candle. Greetings from the Netherlands. Oh, shout out to Rosalina from the Netherlands. We had somebody from Scotland today too. Right? We are in Houston, Texas, and everybody seems we're great now, electricity wise. What have we learned from in unstable infrastructure? I guess I can start first. I learned that when you help people, when you need people's help, they'll help you back. when you help others when they need you, when you really need help, they will give you a generator. Right? They will give you power banks. Like I've lent out all our the power banks that we use for sound healing.
Oh, really?
We let people use because their house down the street from us did not have electricity, and it's about humanity uniting. And if you don't help anybody when you need help, ain't nobody gonna help you when you need it. So in this group, like if we ever need help here, we're gonna help each other. And so my father is a huge network for helping people. We're a huge network, but of course I deal with more mental health and emotional health and spiritual health. But my father's very labor, like he fixes people AC, refrigeration, but he also helps run the temple. So which means any kind of help, if your grandma passed away, he's gonna be the MC he's the MC at almost every funeral.
Wow.
So the amount of leadership that's required, so he can't miss any funeral because no one would do it. So he's tied to it. So it's good merit, but you can't just be like, no, I can't show up to help at your funeral. So I learned that help each other. And if nobody's helping you, maybe you need to start helping some people. Because this year it looks like you may need somebody's help. What about Brother Charles? I mean, brother Sean, excuse me. I guess I was trying to go this way, but he was.
Learned to be grateful for what we have for sure. Because it could all be taken away. I was a little worried that something bad would happen. Of course, that fear comes in your mind of the
camper's going to be in the air.
Yeah, the unknown, right? Like, oh, should I move it? Should I not? Just going through all these worries until eventually I was like, no, you know what? Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
We're going to do what we can to be safe personally. If our property is damaged, it was just meant to be. There's nothing I can do about it.
God's plan.
I just finally let go of that worry. It wasn't very long, because at the beginning I was like, whatever, it's not that big a deal, I love storms. And then after a while, like, it just sets in, I'm like, oh, this is a hurricane, something bad could happen. I've never been through that kind of a storm, but it's just a bad thunderstorm, basically.
Yeah. So it's worse in the city. Where you're at was probably not.
Luckily, it was, like, 36 hours, 24 hours before it arrived, the path was directly over our camper, and it shifted right a little bit towards Katy and Houston, thankfully, so that we got the left side of it, which is kind of like the weaker side. You got
the protection.
Yeah, exactly. So nothing ended up happening. We just got a little water inside, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Just mopped it up with a towel. But yeah, just really being grateful for what we have and letting go. I pull a Buddhist card every day before I work, just because it's what I do.
That's your
now. It's like my routine now. Is just to pull up a card, and today was impermanence, and it's just a good reminder that we are not permanent, and especially our things are not permanent, in our lives. So it's okay if they come and go. To be okay. Not let it,
even the big ticket items.
not let it cause suffering, because at the end of the day we're gonna be just fine. We'll figure it out either way.
How about Sister Sparkalicious Queen Emily? Lots of lessons for you already, but generally, what are you willing to talk about?
I have learned, like always, to be incredibly grateful for even having electricity. We're very fortunate to not lose it here. The lights flickered. There are people still out there without electricity going on day 5. Mm-hmm. In 90, it feels like 106-degree weather with the humidity. I've learned a lot of lessons of how people handle stress and working in a highly stressful environment sometimes, where we do deal with people's homes, and a lot of communities here without electricity. A lot of residents are very angry. A lot of water mitigation and remediation and making sure mold is not in our units. And I've had to use my mind a lot this week, and learning how to breathe throughout the day.
The basics, right?
Yeah, just going back to the basics, really. And seeing how others handle stress has been very eye-opening for me. Like Master says, when someone shows you who they are, believe it. And whenever you see how somebody is, seeing that, but not taking it in myself, like not allowing somebody's mood or anxiety or stress and what they might say to me or how they might react to me.
Yeah.
Keeping the peace within myself and knowing when to set boundaries and knowing when to walk away, knowing when to answer the phone and when not to answer the phone because I need to prioritize my life and my day. It's been a week full of practice.
Yeah, this is the days we practice for, like the week we practice for, because most of our life ain't going to be like storms and power outages.
Yeah.
But when it's time, remember online is the same thing.
Yeah, it's been a lot of lessons, but being incredibly grateful for the people that are in our lives, even with the storm, we might lose power, we might lose food, we might lose electricity, we might lose certain material items, but at the end of the day, it really matters of the people that are in our life and seeing the blessing for it, because sometimes we may take advantage for our community, our families, our incredible people that we do get to work with. So remembering to say thank you to others, because we might take others for granted sometimes, or we might get super comfortable with people in our lives that we forget to say thank you. Thank you for being a kind person. Thank you for helping me with this. Thank you for your smile. Thank you for being the calm in my life. It can make such a big difference. And at the end of the day, it's beautiful to see communities come together, even though some might be stressed, some might not come together with others, but being grateful for the ones that do as well. So I'm just very grateful.
Glad to hear you are practicing the foundation, because online has been a mess sometimes. How about Brother Charles? What have you learned from this storm?
I learned that there are many people not prepared for an emergency.
Yeah.
There are many people that are totally reliant on someone else, to where when they don't have what they're expecting, they're willing to
Do crazy stuff.
just blame everyone else. And it reminded me that I'm fortunate enough that I do have the means to prepare and think about being someone who could help someone else. Because like you said, there's people in need, and there has to be someone who actually has the thing that they need. So someone has to prepare. Yeah. Ideally, we'd all be a little prepared, but I'm reminded that there's a little bit more I could be doing, because I don't think these aren't like one-off things.
It will happen again.
Yeah, the institutions where people are totally relying on, they're just trying to make money, and they're going to do the least amount of work to make it run, to keep it running.
Make sure. Once we stop complaining, they're over it.
So the grid is like 100 years old. Do you really think that they've been investing in it to make it stronger? No. So I'm. This is probably going to be more common, and it takes a community, we're always going to have people in need, and we're going to need people who are ready to help those in need.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think in my family, because we've been in a long-term committed community, which is the Thai temple, like ever since we come to America, we've always had the centering place, which is the Thai temple, which is why the merit that we have with the temple, it's huge, because there's a lot of old folks that rely on the temple's network to take care. Like some people don't have power, they're old, they're really old and retired, and they can't do anything on their own, so you have to use like a network to take care of each other. But I'm aware that many people don't have that. And some people are first generation in America, which means their resources even low and thin, but we can still find a way to unite, you know. Like some people really rely on that food bank heavily because that's the best that they can. And this is why it's so sad. I don't like talking about it. Once people make it, they move out of the inner city and just go as far as possible from the inner city, because it's a smart move to build a family, but it's like you dump your brothers and sisters in the city to, you know, and we have the free will to, but I realize like people need help. And if we don't help the community when we do this, the world so slowly start deteriorating in the inner city, and the energy in the inner city, you know, it's sometimes it's just, you know, they need more support, right? Need more education, and especially now, like I'm looking on social media, the amount of people angry at the center point energy, like just people getting angry at like people working on the poles, just honking at the trucks. It shows that humanity needs wisdom, needs gratitude, and a lot of people aren't teaching it out there because there's a lot of distractions from the phone that we're not getting the wisdom. I think let's go. What is the world looking like without gratitude right now? Like from what you know, the response to lack of gratitude. Like our ancestors didn't have electricity for longer time, right? Like they found a way because, well, I think what inflamed us is when we have no power and no phone, no 4G, no 5G, and no, because we're so addicted to this. When the dopamine stops, what's the consequences?
Yeah, when you overstimulate for so long, and then you go without it, it's essentially like withdrawing from a drug.
Yeah.
Your brain just starts to say, I need it. And those addiction cravings start to kick in, which leads to unpleasant feelings, which then leads to, you know, emotionally lashing out, whether it's anger, frustration, turning to drugs, you know, whatever else you can use to take your mind off your issues. And I think a lot of the lack of gratitude comes from entitlement, and we as a society are so entitled to have electricity. Like we just expect all these things to work. We expect the gas stations to have gas. We expect there to be
food at the grocery store,
just fully stocked at all the grocery stores. Like if I go there, I'm like, it better be there. You know what I mean? And that amount of entitlement is something that's fairly new in our society within the last, you know, at least a few decades, to where we just feel like these things are always going to work when it only takes, you know, the slightest bit of upheaval in the way things are run, whether it be COVID or a storm, right, to throw the entire machine off kilter. And then the lack of these things makes us go into anger. It makes us go into these other emotions because we are addicted. We are severely addicted to these things. So that's why I really like unplugging from my phone, watching the screen time, so that I don't become addicted, because I do have an addictive personality. Going through all my own addictions with substance and video games and stuff like that, it's not easy. It's still a struggle, although it's much, much easier than it was in the past. Yeah, watching it, being very mindful of what I'm doing, whether it's my phone or just being grateful that there's gas at the gas station and food in the grocery store. I say it pretty much every day.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for this food. I'm grateful for this water that I'm drinking, because it's a great reminder that this water might not always be here. I might have to go use my life straw in a stream or something like that to suck water out of the stream at some point. But yeah.
How about Sister Emily? The consequences. Like, what do you think when we learn from people's emotion, right? When we have to deal with chaos, many people are not prepared to deal with the consequences of disharmony. And disharmony is an amazing teaching in life. What have you learned about humanity? Like, what can we learn about the lack of, like, learning how to de-stress and how to keep your, like, you know, you're practicing spiritual fundamentals, right? Sound bath, you're gonna be okay. But most people don't have that, and you and many light workers were in these systems to make sure things are okay. Well, speak on these responsibilities and how and the impact of people not knowing any skills on how to deal with stress.
Whenever we practice meditation, sound bath, whenever things are really good, right? Sometimes it's easy to forget our practices because things are good. So we're having a good time. You might be drinking alcohol, drugs, whatever it is. But if we cannot, like, ground ourselves and be like that tree with our roots in the ground on a constant basis and have our practice to where we are grounded and centered even whenever things are good, whenever it gets chaotic, it's even harder for us as a society to be grounded at that time, right? Whenever things are chaotic around us, if we're not grounded, if we're not centered, if we don't put our practices into motion, and a lot of people don't have those practices, right? So whenever things get very chaotic, life, our office floods, our roof is flying off of our house, we still have to work because we have, thousands of residents to take care of, for instance.
Yeah.
If you're chaotic, taking care of all of these people and being a leader or coming into contact with a lot of people, if you feel chaotic inside, then you're going to be spreading chaos throughout the world. You're going to be spreading chaos to every person you meet.
Yeah.
And you don't know what those people could be going through. Yeah, you have power, but you don't feel grounded, you don't feel centered inside. They might not have power, they might not have food. They might have kids or babies in the house without power. So it's so important to be aware and to still be able to be centered yourself, to where each person we come in contact with, you can see them and you can still offer that smile or be that calmness within the storm, because if everybody's like just running all over the place and not having a plan and not knowing what they're doing and being that kind person to another, then the world's just going to keep on being chaotic. Yeah. That's why it's so important for light workers or people that are grounded to be in different areas within the world, because you are able to be that grounded tree, like that shining light within the storm. And I think that's unbeatable, because the more people that can see the calmness within you, that makes them be calm. And then wherever they go in the world, it makes the world a calmer place. So you can be that change.
And oftentimes these people are overlooked until chaos happens. And then they become like, oh, that's why you do all of that. Because when the showdown happens, you're going to get things done. While people are panicking, freaking out, and they're not getting stuff done because they don't know how to deal with the pressure. How about Brother Charles? What can we learn from the response, from people? Like, what can we learn from people's irresponsibility, or people who don't think about the future at all, not being prepared, and then the response is like a panic and stress, and then doing dumb things. What do you think? What's the long-term consequence of people continuing not to be prepared? It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm a big believer that the universe is trying to teach us, like you're talking about harmony or balance. It's just that we're very far from that, in the way that we've detached ourselves from nature. Like, do you know where north is? Like, if you didn't have Google Maps, if you didn't have a compass, would you know north? In an emergency, do you have water? Like, you can only survive for 3 days without water. So I think the universe is just set up that it's just going to brute force lessons on you, and it's through pain and suffering. We're like programmed to be lazy. We're not going to do something unless like there's that friction. Mm-hmm. And so because our society is so out of balance, we're so far from nature and natural law, there's going to be a lot of friction, and there's going to be a lot of lessons for us to learn. And we're going to keep, the universe is going to keep throwing those situations at us until we get a clue. And, I would say before you buy your next $1,000 iPhone, maybe think about, hey, like, what if I get a generator? Or like, what if I get some food emergency? Yeah. Think about all the things we're assuming are going to be there when we need it, and really think about it. Be like, just look at history. So unfortunately, the people who choose not to sort of pay attention to these lessons, these opportunities, it's really an opportunity for us to be, responsibility, and to be a co-creator instead of just always reacting to everything and being a victim. So I don't know what to say about the people that choose not to. I want to have so much abundance to where I can be there for more and more people. But right now I'm focusing on me and my sphere of influence, and then growing that abundance and energy so that I can either be that example or be there when it's needed.
I agree. We need more village energy, tribe energy, and a long-term committed community energy that's missing, because some people don't. Like back then, it may be everyone went to the same church in your neighborhood. But nowadays, some people don't have that. They have communities that are digital, right? You have a bunch of friends that are across the world or online, but locally we need like in-person community too, whether it's spiritual or not, because it's about creating a village energy. And if that village can also be a spiritual practice, meditation, it really helps our life become a lot better, because we have a network with people of good heart versus people who only come to you with trouble, right? So we're willing to help each other when we both are constantly serving each other. But when we only remember each other because why? You don't have an electricity and I just want to borrow your stuff, it's kind of iffy. But when we're already helping each other if we just help each other before the storm, during the storm, we have people who know that is our inner circle. So I think what we're learning from these, natural disasters it's fine. Like, for you to have good people around, you gotta be a good person. You gotta be willing to do something. Like, I learned the word, be a beneficial presence on the planet. Like, if you're on the planet and you're not useful, like, why the hell would somebody help you? Like, you're not being a useful human being, just being all entertained all day. And so instead, we make social media complaining, yelling at the truck drivers trying to fix the power line. Why? Because we weren't a beneficial presence already. Now, if we were a beneficial presence, we would have had a bit more resources, because good people help good people, and lazy people don't help each other. Right? And so if we're cultivating a family, or if we're cultivating a community where people help each other, when we need help, the community comes together. But if you're not helping nobody, you're just going out to have fun, and immature community, just smoke together, drink together, talk rap together, bike together. But when you need help, those people you're not showing up. Now maybe some people are. We want to but it's because good people help each other, and lazy people, we feel abandoned. And then when you feel abandoned a long time, you feel like you blame the system. The system blamers. Why is it easy to blame the system and not yourself?
I mean, it's the same for everything, right? It's always so much easier to blame somebody else than yourself, because it's what the ego wants to do. The ego never wants to be at fault. And most people are definitely controlled by their egos. And it's easier to complain about somebody else than to complain about yourself, and to really deal with your own issues. So, just blaming the system instead of, blaming yourself for being prepared. Mentally, it's just easier to not accept responsibility, and it's easier to not have to worry about the next time it's going to happen, because you're just going to blame them again instead of being prepared. It's not easy to change. Change is very difficult, and change requires you to accept responsibility for your shortcomings and for wanting to change. But yeah, I don't think most people are willing to face themselves and to face their egos without like serious work, which it is a ton of work.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier to smoke weed or drink and to just complain.
Yeah. And so we're realizing humanity naturally is going to be immature. Can you talk about like what does that like what is that? Like, what do you mean? Like, humanity generally is immature, and I think it's kind of always been that way.
I mean, that's kind of what we're taught, right? From television, from most of the TV shows that we watch, from a lot of modern music that we listen to. We're kind of raised in a society where everything is very surface level. We want to make more money, consume. We look at a lot of material wealth, get that Prada, Gucci, Louis. We're so constantly looking for validation from others. We're not looking to give ourselves that validation. We're not looking to go within. We're not looking to work on ourselves, because it takes a lot of work to work on ourselves. It takes a lot of work to develop, to cultivate ourselves. And a lot of people are lazy. A lot of people want to take the easy route where, you just go out, have drinks. It's easy to go to brunch. It's easy to get mimosas. It's easy to, buy some Jamaican herb. It's so easy. Everything is just so easy to consume.
Instant gratification.
It's instant gratification. And that's where a lot of the immaturity comes from. And a lot of the shows that we watch they revolve around gossip. they revolve around material wealth. It revolves around like just talking shit about people all the time,
Yeah.
you know, and it's because we don't feel the love within. You know, the way we treat others is how we treat ourselves.
Yeah.
If we're ugly to others, if we lie to others, we're lying to ourselves. If we steal, you know, there's a reason why we do certain things. There's a reason why we have certain actions towards others. And if there's something that we don't like about how we're treating others or about how people are treating us, it requires us to look within and say, why is that happening to me? You know, it requires us to see why that is happening and what is the lesson in this. Is it something within me that I need to work on? Or do I need to build up better boundaries for myself? Do I need to learn how to speak up in a positive way? So it just takes a lot of self-cultivation and taking a lot of action that might not be comfortable a lot of the times. But that's how we mature within ourselves, is by taking action, by looking within ourselves, and by doing the work, and by doing the uncomfortable work that doesn't always seem easy to do, but I think it's worth it in the end, and learning from our mistakes and seeing where we can improve. You know, life is all a lesson. But whenever we do a lot of work within ourselves, we're able to see true results, and then our relationships begin to be more mature. Our families begin to be more happy. We begin to be better human beings for ourselves and for our community and for others, for, you know, wherever we are in life, whether we're placed in a certain place at work or playing a certain role for our families, you know, being able to see those actual results. But sometimes we have to realize that some people around us are just going to stay immature. You know, we might sometimes want to help so many people that sometimes we don't see that if those people don't want to change, then they're not going to. And knowing the difference, right? Knowing when to say no and knowing when to walk away, I think. And that involves a lot of paying attention in our lives as well.
I think the major word that connects with immaturity, the opposite is responsibility. You know, in our community, we teach people love your damn self, and people do it because we do it. The leaders, right? Love your damn self, right? The shirts, and we're responsible for it through meditation. And how can we inspire many people who aren't responsible to be more responsible, whether it's preparation for the future or just generally like going to work, being on time, and being a good, like just being a functional person in society? Like, how can we inspire people to do at least just like want to, like, you know, improve their life, you know? Because sometimes some people just don't care about that because we don't push each other to do better, right? Like the father's working, and like the kid, like Floyd Mayweather, all his kid wants to do is smoke the herb. That's his favorite activity, right? And so like that's the society that when we're so comfortable that we don't think about responsibility sometimes. Now, some people don't have that blessing, but many people do, because they're like third generation American, or right, there's a lot of ways where we don't have to push our kids to. We're so nice that sometimes we're not finding the way to get out. How can we inspire people, do you think, in your view, Brother Charles, to inspire responsibility, the super basics?
I think at some point someone will hit like almost like a rock bottom, to where they'll have suffered enough to where they're like, or they ask the universe or God or whatever, there's like, they ask for help and they truly mean it, and they're truly open to change, I think that's necessary.
I think that's like in our group. Everyone hit rock
Yeah.
bottom. Most
So-
of you.
So I think the universe is set up to like push you to, if you're not living according to natural law, you're gonna suffer to the point where you will be open to new ideas, new behaviors. You'll seek them out. You'll seek them out naturally. You're gonna find communities. You're gonna find YouTube videos. You're gonna find books that they were always there, but you just weren't. Your eyes weren't open because you were focused in something else, and you were focused in gratification. You were focused on, easy money. You were focused on womanizing, whatever.
Getting attention.
But eventually, that route that you were seeking, you were getting your happiness through, or your ego, your desires. Eventually, that's going to run out. You're going to run into natural law, and you're going to hit some type of situation where the universe is going to sort of hit you in the face, and then you're like, "Whoa." God help me, or whatever, and like addiction, like Alcohol Anonymous.
Yeah.
They have, one of their steps is you have to believe in a higher power, because if they have to have sunk so low that they recognize that, wow, I can't do this by myself. I need something. I need help, and that's so. I don't know if it's so much about inspiring others, but it's if you happen to be around someone who has that mentality where they're seeking help, where they're actually open to new information, and you just happen to be there and they just happen to ask you, then it's like, yeah, well, this is what worked for me. But if they're just to see you out in the street, or, look at all the people in the mall. They don't know that I'm like in sound healer. They don't know shit. They just think I'm just some other guy in the mall. So why are they gonna? What are they gonna be inspired about from me? Nothing. But if they see me at a park, maybe, and I'm, or like you, where you're there meditating every day, and what's this guy about? And how many people come to the sound healing? They're like, man, this is just what I needed.
Yeah.
I really asked the universe that, man, I just need like a sound healing in the park. That's what happened to you. Every weekend, someone's like, man, I was asking for this. So they probably hit some sort of rock bottom. It doesn't have to be rock bottom.
Some dead end or
something to make them seek, like, man, what's something different?
Yeah.
I've been doing this way. I want to try something different.
Yeah. The awakening process, you don't know when it's going to happen. Sometimes it's rock bottom, or it comes from the people who have hit rock bottom, and we're on here doing our part so that we can prevent some people from needing to go all the way to the bottom, Like, golly. Like, instead of, like, when we see y'all getting there, this is why the music, it helps, the community, it helps so much. Because when you experience this night of the dark soul and hell consciousness, you're like, how can we prevent people from needing to go there? Through being real, through education, through through helping people, and
Jamaican herb too.
Yeah. And so it requires a lot of daily commitment from ourselves, responsibility from the community, responsibility from the teacher, responsibility to practice on a daily basis. Because on the days that people need help, that's their time. That you could help save a life every day. Like, I'm aware. Like we say this often, that what we're doing when we serve, we could help be assisting somebody who's in hell, who's in that consciousness, and they just need to realize you're gonna be okay. And then the community supports, and but some people, I agree, they're gonna need to be humbled by life more, Some of them need to go through a couple more divorces. Right, a couple more years. Some of them need 20 years of Jamaican herb attachment. Some people are going to need to be heartbroken 20 times first. But, you know, and some people are going to need to be attached to things that don't make them happy. Sometimes it's politics, right? Sometimes people were attached to spirit, you know, making money. We're attached, but we're not happy. And when we're doing the best to be happy and we're not, we surrender. And in that surrender, the awakening process keeps moving forward. But if we don't surrender, we keep trying to do the same thing with what we know. Because sometimes you don't know. And to not know, it's the best thing I ever figured out. That I don't need to know. All I need to know is that I'm doing the best that I can and slowly get better. Slowly find a way. Because it seems like humanity wants us to figure out, after high school, go college. After that, get job, right? Save in your 401k, you know, buy property and get a truck, get a sports car, children, white picket fence, all these things, right? Structured. And when, but sometimes your life's just not like it doesn't play out like that. You think something's wrong with you, but it's not, because maybe you don't fit in the societal mold and we don't know it. And this is why the spiritual process and having faith is so beautiful, because it allows you to just be happy with the life that you're given. And so let's final words from Brother Sean about responsibility for your happiness, at least.
It takes a lot of discipline, and for me to build discipline, it takes a lot of consistency, and in order to get consistency, I need a routine, and sticking to that routine is where I find happiness, through discipline. It means waking up and doing the same, sometimes similar, but mostly the same stuff every single day. And it can get boring, but just pushing through those bad days when you don't want to do it is what makes me the most happy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really need that in my life. And I'm glad that we've been stationary for, over a year now, so that we can
be more stable.
Yeah, find more stability, which leads to consistency, which will lead to discipline, which leads to happiness
and greater success in life.
Yeah, much greater success. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to continuing that. So find your discipline and stick it out on the hard days.
How about Sister Emily? Final words about responsibility for your happiness.
We are only responsible for ourselves, and that takes consistency, discipline with meditation, self-care, taking care of our bodies, eating healthy food,
spa,
nourishing ourselves. I will be going to the spa very soon and getting a massage. But we're only responsible for our own actions. We're not responsible for other people. We are not responsible for what others might say with other people, how they act, their reactions. But we're responsible to our response to others. Are we going to allow their actions affect us? Are we going to allow other people's actions or negativity or chaos in the world, are we going to allow that to destroy our peace? Because whenever we cultivate ourselves and we find that peace within, it's so important to stay strong whenever things might get a little bit more chaotic, and whenever things are good, still keeping our practice, because you never know when there will be lessons in life. And like you said, we could be you, no matter where you are, can save somebody's life just by, listening to them. Maybe they're having a really hard time. Maybe somebody has a lot of depression that you didn't even know about, and just listening to others and being that kind person being aware and being disciplined in the moment, that we're not constantly in our heads and having like thoughts continuously happen to where we're not actually being present in the moment. Because with us being truly present in the moment takes so much discipline and practice, especially whenever things are chaotic.
Yeah.
But whenever we can achieve that and not allowing others to affect us is incredible.
Yeah, you make Buddha and Jesus proud because they're like, wow, you actually connected with that energy. It takes a lot of effort. How about Brother Charles' final words about responsibility for your self-happiness?
Responsibility, or your ability to respond, and that will be different for different people. The ability I have to respond to a situation is going to be different from the ability that you have to respond to a situation. Be honest with yourself. Ask for help. We live in the information age that we have all of humanity's information at our fingertips on your phone. Seek, just ask. That's in the Bible too. Ask and it will be granted to you. Seek and you shall find. Just be open to, and you have the ability to go seek your answers and ask for help. Do that.
Of course, yes, we're reading the comments. Well, thank you again. We have, check out their TikToks. Brother Bioman _HTX meditation, Emily.Richardson. We got Helios _rising HTX, and you already know me. So thank you, Andy. I hope that the chat has been grounded today. If not, deal with it. Okay, be responsible. Okay, because right now, I hope that it wasn't too. I hope it was mostly grounded. If it wasn't, remember your foundation. Welcome. Thank you for being here, Aderon, Dak Life. We got Maria Blix. We got Mega Ape Huma, and we're gonna be out here. We're gonna be at the park this Sunday, still doing our work. Probably praying for electricity for people and peace of mind, and to help ground the city in peace. Just because the power is out doesn't mean we can't ground our inner power. And you need some links. Nah, it's fine. Helios, there he goes. That's Brother Sean. Emily.Richardson, EMILIE .Richardson, and we got Brother Helios Helios _rising HTX. And they come to the stream from time to time, so if you just hang around, you'll see them from time to time. And anyways, thank you everybody, and let's just do 3 ohms because the energy can be wild, Breathing in. Thank you everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the peace. Thank you for keeping it grounded, and